Silence or rise. The Supreme Court of Queensland is in session. Any person having business before the court, come forward, announce your presence and you will be heard. Please be seated.
We hold this ceremony today for Justice Peter Flanagan, who is sworn in as a Judge of Appeal.
Chief Justice, I present a commission appointing me a Judge of Appeal.
Thank you. Let the commission be read.
Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of Australia and the other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth. To our trustee and well-beloved Peter Flanagan, Queen's Counsel, Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Judge of the Supreme Court of Queensland. Greeting. Whereas Her Excellency the Governor, in and over our state of Queensland, in the Commonwealth of Australia, with the advice of the Executive Council of our said state, has seen fit to direct that you, Peter Flanagan, QC, being a Judge of the Supreme Court of our said state, shall be appointed a Judge of Appeal of the said court. Now know you that we, reposing full trust and confidence in your loyalty, learning, integrity and ability, do hereby, in pursuance of the Supreme Court of Queensland Act 1991, and in exercise of all powers and authorities enabling us in that behalf, appoint you the said Peter Flanagan QC, being a Judge of the said court of our said state, to be a Judge of Appeal of the said court of our said state, from and including the 16th day of July 2022. To have, hold, exercise and enjoy the said office during good behaviour, together with all the rights, profits, powers, privileges and advantages thereunto belonging or appertaining. In testimony whereof we have caused the public seal of our said state to be hereunto affixed. Witness our trusty and well-beloved Her Excellency the Honourable Dr. Jeanette Rosita Young, Public Service Medal, Governor in and over the State of Queensland and its dependencies in the Commonwealth of Australia at Government House, Brisbane, this 19th day of May, in the year of our Lord 2022, and in the 71st year of our reign. By command. Entered on record by me in the Register of Patents number 52, page 89, this 19th day of May, AD 2022, Clerk of the Executive Council.
Justice Flanagan, I invite you to take the oaths of allegiance and of office.
I, Peter Flanagan, do sincerely promise and swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, as lawful sovereign of Australia, and to her heirs and successors according to law, and as a Judge of Appeal I will at all times and in all things do equal justice to all persons and discharge the duties and responsibilities of the office according to law to the best of my knowledge and ability, without fear, favour or affection. So help me God.
Congratulations, Justice Flanagan.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
We are honoured to have here today Justice Edelman of the High Court of Australia, as well as many serving and retired judicial officers of federal and state courts and tribunals. Many others have sent their regretful apologies, including Chief Justice Kiefel of the High Court and our recently retired Chief Justice, the Honourable Catherine Holmes, who both have asked that their apologies be particularly noted. So too did Justice Logan of the Federal Court, and the Attorney-General has also sent her apologies. I also acknowledge the first and traditional owners of this land and pay my respects to their elders, those who have spoken for the land in the past and who do so today. Almost all the members of the court sit on the bench here in Brisbane and today in Cairns and Rockhampton for this important ceremony to honour and celebrate the appointment of our friend and colleague, Justice Flanagan, as a Judge of Appeal. Although a number of the judges are unable to join us today, all join in congratulating Justice Flanagan. Today is also, of course, an occasion of great celebration for Justice Flanagan's partner, family and friends. We warmly welcome all of you, distinguished guests, members of the profession, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time to attend this ceremony. You honour the court, and today in particular Justice Flanagan, by doing so. Ceremonies such as these are an important part of the history of the court, marking both its continuity and its change, and your participation is greatly appreciated. Justice Flanagan was appointed to the Trial Division of the Supreme Court just over 8 years ago, on 27 June 2014. His Honour brought enormous experience to the court, having practised as a barrister for 32 years prior to his appointment, 12 of those as Queen's Counsel. As a judge of the Trial Division, Justice Flanagan has worked incredibly hard, hearing and determining some of the most difficult commercial cases, as well as presiding over complex criminal trials. His Honour has also served as a member of the Mental Health Court since 2017 and for the last 2.5 years as the President of that important court. His Honour is rightly held in the highest regard by all of his colleagues and by the profession as a person of great wisdom, learning and integrity, as well as unfailing courtesy and very good humour. His Honour has a remarkable work ethic and level of industry, having the ability to produce erudite judgments with remarkable speed and efficiency, even in the biggest of cases, in a way that seems almost effortless. His Honour is a wonderful addition to the Court of Appeal, although the Trial Division will lament his loss. All of us wholeheartedly congratulate Justice Flanagan on his appointment to the Court of Appeal. Mr. Solicitor.
May it please the Court, I respectfully acknowledge the Yagara and Turrbal people, the traditional owners of the land on which this Court sits, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Chief Justice, Justice Flanagan, I acknowledge the presence here of members of the judiciary, both past and present, distinguished guests, members of the legal profession, present in court and by video. And I welcome the family and friends of Justice Flanagan. I particularly note that friends and colleagues have travelled from interstate to attend this swearing-in ceremony. The Honourable Shannon Fentiman, Attorney-General, Minister for Justice, Women and the Prevention of Domestic and Family Violence, is unable to attend this ceremony and has asked me to convey her apology. As it happens, this is my last official appearance as Solicitor General for Queensland. It is therefore a great pleasure for me to be asked to represent the Attorney-General to attend this celebration of Your Honour's appointment to the Court of Appeal, having known Your Honour for a very long period of time. Your Honour holds the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws with Honours from the University of Queensland. After a term as Associate to the Honourable Justice Douglas Campbell in the Supreme Court, you were called to the bar. You were admitted as a barrister of the Supreme Court in the same year. Your Honour then developed a substantial practice across many areas of law, including public, commercial and energy fields. Your Honour was engaged as counsel assisting in a number of significant commissions of inquiry, including the Parliamentary Judges Commission of Inquiry in 1988 and 1989, the Cook Commission of Inquiry in 1989 and 1991, and the Queensland Health Payroll System Commission of Inquiry in 2012-2013. During the Payroll System Commission of Inquiry, the Honourable Richard Chesterman, who is present today, I note, observed the thoroughness of the inquiry and the efficiency of its conduct were a product of the forensic skill, industry and dedication of counsel assisting, which primarily included Your Honour. Your Honour took silk in 2002. Speaking from experience, Your Honour was a formidable advocate, always thorough in preparation and possessing intimidating skills as a cross-examiner. One always remembers one's losses. You also contributed to the profession. From 2011 to 2014, you served as a director of the Barristers' Chambers Limited. On a personal level, Your Honour was, and I believe remains, a supporter of the arts, possesses a passion for music and is an accomplished singer. After lunch particularly, I hope. In 2014, Your Honour was appointed as a Justice of the Supreme Court of Queensland, and Your Honour has subsequently served as a Judge of the Trial Division for just over 8 years. Your Honour's period as a Judge of the Trial Division was characterised by a prodigious workload, the efficient dispatch of the business of the court, erudite and insightful judicial reasoning, and absolute courteousness. Your high intellect, ability to identify the essential issues, cut through complexity and acute reasoning particularly qualifies Your Honour to the role of an appellate judge. That ability is manifest in the judgments which Your Honour has delivered, including, for example, high-profile decisions involving defamation. As a trial division judge, you have presided over many complex and challenging trials and other proceedings both in civil and complex and challenging criminal matters. Having appeared before Your Honour in a number of matters over the last 8 years, from collapsing cranes to gas pipeline disputes, I can say it has always been a pleasure to appear in Your Honour's court. Your Honour has also served on the Mental Health Court as observed by the Chief Justice and was its president for the last several years. During your time with that court, Your Honour worked with Justice Dalton to provide further development and assistance to reporting psychiatrists, implementing measures to increase the number of reporting psychiatrists with the court. Your Honour has also continued to contribute to the provision of legal education through the Bar Association, which I leave to Mr Sullivan to develop further. The Court of Appeal stands at the apex of the judicial system of this state and enjoys a high reputation as an intermediate appellate court within the Australian judicial system. I predict that Your Honour's appointment will prove to be a significant enhancement to the reputation of the court, to the great and lasting benefit of the state. On behalf of the Attorney-General and as Solicitor General of the state, I offer my congratulations to Your Honour on this appointment and wish you the very best in the next section of your career. May it please the Court.
Mr Sullivan.
May it please the Court. On behalf of the Bar Association of Queensland, it gives me great personal pleasure to speak at this ceremony for the swearing-in of Your Honour Justice Peter Flanagan and to celebrate Your Honour's joining of the Court of Appeal. Justice Flanagan, I extend particular welcome to your family and friends who join us here today. Your Honour's elevation of the Court of Appeal is a worthy recognition of the now 8 years spent in outstanding service in the Trial Division. Today, we congratulate you on your achievement and acknowledge your significant contribution to the court, the law and the legal profession. Your Honour is a graduate of the University of Queensland, where you were awarded a Bachelor of Laws with honours in 1982, studies which you combined with your role as an associate of the Honourable Justice Douglas Campbell. In the same year, you were called to the bar, where you practised until your appointment to this court. During your 3 decades at the bar, Your Honour had an enviable, large and diverse practice. You specialised in public and administrative law, commercial law and particularly defamation. You also led a number of Commonwealth prosecutions, particularly those involving fraud. It is no surprise that Your Honour was continually called upon to assist in commissions of inquiry. The first as junior counsel to Sir Harry Gibbs in 1989, the second as counsel assisting in the Cook Commission of Inquiry in 1991. As your practice developed in the years that followed, you were recognised as a preeminent member of the bar. In 1992, you took silk. Later in your career, Your Honour was counsel for the Ipswich City Council in the Queensland Flood Inquiry in 2011 and counsel assisting in the Queensland Health Payroll System Inquiry in 2013. Each of those undertakings required not only a great deal of skill in public and administrative law, but also a deep understanding of many different areas of law and science, an ability to synthesise volumes of material and to direct the court's or inquiry's attention to the real issues. Your Honour was well known for these qualities as a barrister and has subsequently demonstrated them repeatedly on the bench. In the trial division, Your Honour has taken on a number of the largest trials of public interest in both civil and criminal jurisdictions. And in 2020, you were named President of the Mental Health Court. Your Honour famously handed down one of Queensland's largest damages awards in defamation, supported by your comprehensive 345-page judgment. The Bar Association has always benefited from Your Honour's willingness to contribute to its activities. Whilst at the Bar, Your Honour delivered a great number of CPD papers, particularly those focused on administrative law. You lectured at the Bar Practice course. You participated in the advocacy weekends and served on the Association's Professional Conduct Committee for many years, contributing material still regularly relied upon by the Association. Since your appointment, Your Honour has continued to assist the Association in a variety of ways, and we are glad to enjoy the benefits of Your Honour's time and experience, which are so generously given. At the Bar, Your Honour was well known for your excellent sense of humour, albeit a particularly dry one. You were always well liked and always admired by your peers. The taking up of public duty by the acceptance of an appointment to the bench carries with it a level of separation from those with whom you formerly worked. Irrespective of this change, Your Honour has always continued to demonstrate the same courtesy, politeness and genuineness that you demonstrated to others when you were at the Bar. It was these attributes that you were rightly admired for. The Queensland Court of Appeal is well served by Your Honour's elevation, and it is an entirely fitting one. It reflects a well-deserved acknowledgement of your status within the court and within the profession. The Bar Association of Queensland congratulates you on your appointment to the court and assures Your Honour of the ongoing support of its members. Again, I extend the Association's congratulations to you and your family on this accomplishment and wish you the best with your future on the Court of Appeal. May it please the Court.
Ms Thompson.
May it please the Court. It is a great honour for me to be here today to congratulate and welcome Your Honour with respect to your appointment to the Court of Appeal. My congratulations are personal and on behalf of the Solicitors of Queensland who consider Your Honour to be an excellent and deserving appointment. This year I have attended, as President of the Queensland Law Society, 14 court ceremonies to welcome new judicial officers, congratulate others on elevation and farewell some, these being some of the finest legal minds that Queensland has to offer. Today is no exception, and whilst there may have been many ceremonies, this is no less special, and your appointment to the Court of Appeal deserves this recognition amongst your family, friends, your peers, colleagues, and those who are here in person are thrilled to be part of it and be part of the celebration of Your Honour's contribution to the system of justice in Queensland. I have commented before that I'm always amazed when reflecting on the depth of talent that is the judicial pool in Queensland. It is a wonderful position for us to be in as a profession, to have so many highly intelligent individuals who are so willing to devote themselves to the service of the judicial system and the service of the people of Queensland to ensure justice is served without fear, favour or affection. And of course, Your Honour is joining the Court of Appeal, sitting at the apex of our state courts, leading the way in safeguarding the rule of law in our jurisdiction. The former Honourable Chief Justice of New South Wales, Tom Bathurst AC, noted in a speech on the contemporary challenges to the rule of laws that laws must be administered fairly, rationally, predictably, consistently and impartially. The Court of Appeal has always been Queensland's bellwether for such administration of our laws, and it is the place Queenslanders turn to for resolution of the most difficult and intractable of issues. Your Honour's addition to the judges of the Court of Appeal only further enhances this already stellar jurisdiction. But there is one other attribute that I feel I should highlight today. Over the past few years, it has been shown to be critical in the foundation of institutions, perhaps even now more than ever. Collegiality, or put another way, the cooperative relationship of colleagues, is the glue that binds our institutions together in difficult times and keeps the wheels turning. Most recently, we have seen how critical this element is to the continuity during the COVID pandemic. When tested, our courts have risen to meet the waves of this crisis by making proceedings accessible in a safe way and managing to continue the administration of our laws fairly, rationally, predictably, consistently and impartially. We have no doubt that will continue to be the case as Your Honour takes up your new role, and no doubt you will be integral to the leadership displayed by the Court under the guidance of the President of the Court of Appeal, Her Honour Justice Mullins. That spirit of collegiality, I must say, is on display today, and it is delightful to witness the camaraderie displayed by the bench, who you can be assured does influence the rest of the profession. Justice Flanagan, the seeking of background from colleagues for this speech was met with very warm sentiments and regard for your intellect and positive interactions with those who have come before you. In particular, I wanted to note of your past experiences that you were appointed to the Mental Health Court in 2020 as its president on Valentine's Day, no less. Your time in the Mental Health Court has no doubt served you well in preparation for the complex, taxing and difficult matters which have come before you on the Supreme Court, but will also now likely serve you well on the Court of Appeal, where the vast majority of matters involve serious and often distressing crimes, on many occasions involving a party affected by mental health troubles. Dealing with serious offences and often hearing the most heinous of crimes requires much from a judge, and it is something we as a legal profession don't often talk about. It calls for fortitude and the skill to be able to deftly manage the balance between determining if an alleged offender was suffering from diminished capacity, whilst at the same time sensitively acknowledging the anguished results that can flow from mental health issues for victims, families and defendants. Your Honour brings a great deal of level of understanding to the complexities of humanity in determining whether someone is fit for trial. There is a deep strength of character and resilience required to hear and judge these cases, and it does credit to Your Honour that you have expertly and efficiently done so. Justice Flanagan, today is a day of celebration for the Court of Appeal and its judges. Today marks a day where you are joining a collegiate group of utmost professionals, where you will no doubt expertly fill the missing piece following the departure of some very fine appointments earlier this year. The solicitors of Queensland are looking forward to continuing to follow your career and your leadership, and we wish you all the very best for your time in your new role. May it please the Court.
Justice Flanagan.
I will be very brief. Chief Justice, may I commence by thanking you and the other speakers, Mr Thompson on his last official appearance as Solicitor General, Mr Sullivan and Ms Thompson for your very kind and generous remarks. May I thank all present for attending today's ceremony, particularly those who have travelled to be here. I am very pleased to have my partner and many members of my family with me on this occasion. We of course remember our parents and other members of our family who are no longer with us, and by remembering we honour them. All of my former associates are also present today, except for those who are overseas following the proceedings via live streaming, as well as my current associate. Your kind assistance to me over the last 8 years as a trial division judge has been invaluable. I am very proud of all your individual achievements and look forward to following your future successes. I wish to also thank my executive assistants, in particular Helen Fimister and Carla Lloyd, who has been my EA for the last 6 years, for their excellent and always cheerful assistance. The most important aspect of today's ceremony is the oaths which I have just taken. Chief Justice, at your swearing-in earlier this year, the then President, Walter Sofronoff, who is present today, referred to these oaths as constituting the living roots of the rule of law and observed that, quote, the fulfilment of these undertakings by a judge on a daily basis is one of the essential guarantees of the stability of our constitutional democracy, unquote. His Honour also noted that the work of a judge to fulfil these promises can be hard. This is true. At my welcome ceremony, which was held almost 8 years ago, I remarked that in my 30 years of appearances before this court as a barrister, I had been continually impressed with the judge's dedication in striving to dispense justice according to law. Having served as a trial division judge and having observed my colleagues firsthand, this remains my firm belief. The people of Queensland have been and continue to be well served by this court. Chief Justice.
All present are invited to join Justice Flanagan and his family and the judges for morning tea in the Portrait Gallery. Thank you again for attending. Let these proceedings be recorded and adjourn the court.
Silence. All rise. The court is adjourned.
Not bring them up. Not bring them up.